Today I'm giving you 5 tips for making better images in Iceland. Number 1, let's talk gear. Weather-wise, you have really no idea what you're going to get in Iceland, so it's important to have cameras and lenses that can stand up against the weather. This Nikon Z6 and the 24-70 f2.8s is the best combination for weather and elements, while also giving you incredible image quality. A zoom lens really is the best here because you don't want to be changing lenses out in the elements or during humidity shifts coming inside to outside. A wide prime like this Z24 f1.8s is also key if you want good photos of the stars and northern lights in the evening. Now, one lens that might not seem so obvious is a big telephoto like the Z70-200 2.8 or the 70-200 FL, which I have here. It's important to fill your frame with a subject, and big landscapes need a longer lens. For camera bodies, I find that the Nikon Z6 is perfect. It's fast, it stands up against the elements, it takes incredible video as well, and ergonomically it's great to carry around all day. The big lens mount means that the lenses let in a lot of light, which is great because if you come here for the northern lights, it's going to be dark most of the day. Which brings me to tip number 2. Number 2 is timing. In an ideal world, Iceland is worth at least 2 trips. In May to July, you'll pretty much get 24 hours of daylight here, and golden hour really does last from 10 p.m. until 6 a.m. every single day. November to March, the northern lights are incredibly active. That said, with the winter months, sunrise will be around 10 a.m. and sunset will be before 4 p.m. Get an app that tells you golden hour times like Alpenglow, and make sure you're outside and in a good location because conditions and clouds really change rapidly here. Number 3, where to go. If it's your first time here, you might be drawn to stay at the main city of Reykjavik. While it is a beautiful city, if you're here for photography, I recommend renting a car and staying away from the city. There are a lot of hotels, guest houses, and Airbnbs available out in the middle of absolutely nowhere. For distance, it's all what time you have. Most tourists never make it east of Glacier Lagoon. If you want to discover locations where you'll be entirely by yourself, get out further than that. That said, if you only have a few days, there is more than enough to do within about 2 hours of the airport. Everything in Iceland is so photogenic, and by the end of day 1, you'll already be planning your next trip back. Number 4, bring ND filters and a tripod if you want those soft, long exposure waterfall shots. Also bring a cloth because with the random wind comes a lot of mist. Number 5, the last tip, do not plan too much before you go. The cell reception anywhere near the major roads is great in Iceland, which means that you can watch what the weather radar is doing and change and alter plans for your adventure to get the best photos possible based on the conditions happening that day. I hope these tips help you plan your trip. Iceland is an absolutely beautiful country, and it will keep you coming back over and over again. And if you didn't catch the Iceland episode of our show, there's a link in the description below to check that out.